Today, we are looking into the woman who literally changed the world twice. And her name is Marie Curie. Born Maria Skłodowska, she was a proud Polish national and the youngest of 5 siblings. And although her parents were respected teachers, the future for her didn't look so bright. History is rarely kind to women, and Maria Skłodowska is no exception. Losing her mother and her older sister when she was less than 14 years of age meant that childhood was very difficult. Despite that, through her hard work, she was shown to be bright at a young age, especially in the areas of maths and science. However, once again, she faced another blow. Picture this. You've spent all of your younger years learning life, working your socks off in order to be told that you are not allowed to pursue further education because of your sex. Now, at this point, many people would give up, but not Maria. In fact, she tutored, self-taught, and was even tutored herself. See, even Marie Curie gets tutored. This was until her sister Bronislawa made a deal with her. And the deal was, if Maria paid for her to go to university, she would return the favour. In 1891, Maria got into a Parisian university without going through the hassle of UCAS. It took her 2 years of hard work and financial struggle to achieve her first degree in physics. Yes, her first degree, because she later got a scholarship in order to get her second degree, which she obtained in 1894. Now imagine that, getting 2 degrees in your second language. Incredible. Her time in France was not all hard work and no play. In fact, she met a young scientist called Pierre Curie and took quite a liking to him, and he too her. However, Maria was concentrating on being the best scientist, which is why she rejected his first proposal. Now, it's probably not shocking, there's no spoilers, that they eventually got married, and that's why Maria Skłodowska is now known as Marie Curie. Marie is the Frenchified version of Maria. Physics was actually going through some big discoveries at the time. This is around the time of Lord Kelvin, Wilhelm Röntgen, and Henri Becquerel. The latter two were in fact responsible for the discoveries of X-rays and radioactivity in uranium salts. Now, this is important because Marie Curie decided to use these discoveries and investigate further into her own thesis. She discovered that uranium salts emit radiation from the atoms themselves and not as a byproduct of molecules interacting with each other. What does this mean? Well, essentially, the previous assumption was that atoms themselves were indivisible. Marie cured us of that notion. Marie Curie was enjoying her work so much that she actually began discovering the radioactivity of different elements and compounds such as thorium. However, Marie encountered another male-dominated arena: scientific publishing. In a time where women were seen as inferior, Marie knew that the men of the world would not take her work seriously. Rather reluctantly, she knew that she would have to publish her scientific findings through her male colleagues, but she did make sure to put her name on everything. Marie continued working tirelessly until she discovered radium and polonium, the latter being named after her homeland, Poland. Now, these were huge discoveries because she found that radium could actually destroy tumorous cells. And if that wasn't good enough, she also made it available to the world for free. Because this was such a huge discovery, she was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics. Great, right? Well, no, it's not as simple as that. They were actually just going to give the award to her husband and Henri for her work. Outrageous. However, when her husband found out what they were doing, they argued, and she was given the opportunity to share in the first Nobel Prize ever given to a woman. Life would unfortunately take a bit of a downward spiral after this. Whilst her husband was crossing the road, he was tragically killed by a horse and cart. Marie was absolutely devastated and had faced another loss. Nevertheless, there was a sliver of silver in that cloud. Marie took up her husband's post at the University of Paris and then became the first female professor to lecture there. Being a woman in the 19th and 20th century is hard work. Women were not afforded the same respect or treatment as their male counterparts. While Marie was lecturing and researching, she often faced criticisms on her atheistic beliefs, her Jewish heritage, her nationality, and also her love interests after her husband's passing. None of this was just, or was it respectful, or was it fair? But Marie didn't let that hold her back from her work as a scientist or a mother. Despite the hate and the barriers, she was still able to obtain her second Nobel Prize, but this time it was in chemistry. This was thanks to her advancement in the field of chemistry through her work on radium and polonium. And again, many people did not want her to receive this award, but she did, and she became the first person to have 2 Nobel Prizes and in 2 different fields. Unfortunately, it was inevitable, but somewhat poetic, that Marie Curie found her end due to radiation. Due to the early stages of science, the risks of radiation were pretty much unknown, and she was handling very radioactive materials for most of her life, and this caused aplastic anemia. This is basically when the bone marrow is unable to produce the right amount of platelets that cause clotting, the white blood cells that fight infections, and your red blood cells that transport oxygen and nutrients, etc. But despite her difficult end, she will always be remembered forever in science. The impact of someone like Marie Curie is quite hard to measure. Because of her, we're able to know and learn so much more about radiation, polonium, uranium, radium, and that in itself has allowed us to explore and understand further things such as nuclear energy, cancer treatments, or even esoteric concepts like the conservation of energy. Marie Curie's dedication, grit, and hard work was inspirational to everyone. Her kindness and generosity with her research has meant that many people can stand on her shoulders and further research. So what does Marie Curie's story mean for you? This could be whether you're a scientist yourself, an artist, or someone who feels like they're the underdog in their own tale. What Marie Curie's story tells us is that no matter what, passion and perseverance will lead to success and eventual happiness. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Marie Curie's incredible life, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more educational pieces, and share this video to teach someone new. You can lead to success and radiate happiness. No, that was a very bad attempt to put radiation in there.